want to welcome you to the Southern Gal's Kitchen. On this show today, we're going to talk about foods that are anti-aging. These are foods some of us maybe eat every day, and there may be foods that we might want to start adding to our diet. So hang on in just a minute and we'll get to it. One of the best things you can do to help your body as it ages, as we get older, we need a better diet, and sometimes we eat a worse diet. Maybe people find themselves with just one or two people in the household. They don't want to cook as much. Maybe they're eating out, and some of that might be okay. Some of it might be pretty unhealthy things we're eating out. And fast food obviously tends to be the most unhealthy generally. So we want to look more, because I cook at home. I do the Southern Gal shows where I cook at home. But I want to talk about some things we maybe can start adding to our diet that will help. And fruits and vegetables is one of them. Having a whole orange. Now I keep oranges around most of the time, and I'll eat one almost every day. You just peel it and eat it. Orange juice is in a different category than eating the orange. It has the fiber and things. You can drink orange juice, and if you drink a big glass, you're getting a lot of sugar because fruits have sugars. If you eat an orange, you're getting the fiber, the vitamins, and minerals. It hasn't been processed, as orange juice might be, or pasteurized. It's just good, healthy food. So add oranges to your diet. Apples is something else I keep around. Now oranges obviously have a lot of vitamin C and many other nutrients, flavonoids. Apples, they say an apple a day keeps the doctor away, is the old saying. And apples have so many good nutrients in them. You eat the whole apple, you're getting the fiber. I like to buy organic if I can, but if you can't buy organic, sometimes you can't even get it where I live. Then buy the regular. If I don't get an organic apple, I would peel it. Otherwise, I would eat the peeling. Apples, again, have lots of good nutrients. These are unprocessed foods. You want to eat unprocessed foods as much as possible. And especially if you're wanting to protect your skin and protect your heart and protect your organs in your body. A lot of good, wholesome food is you can rub creams on your skin and all that all day long. And that's all good stuff. I do it too. But you cannot put all that on and compensate for a bad diet. You have to up your nutrients in your body to stay healthy. So try to add apples. We eat apples raw, but also almost every week I'll take apples, cut them in half, put them in a cast iron skillet. I'll take the seed and the core out. I'll put them in a cast iron skillet, and I'll put just a little butter and cinnamon and some water in the bottom. And then I have an alternative, and I've talked about it in many videos, but I mix up in a big quart jar, half sugar and half alternative sugar. That way I cut the carbs in half, and I sprinkle just a little bit of that on there. I don't put too much. And bake them till they're tender. They're good left over. I mean, even a day or two or three, they don't go bad. They're just wonderful. I mean, just a really good way to get some nutrients. But again, that's still cooked. You lose some nutrients, not as many, but as you would in canned things, because once they process it and can it, you can tend to lose more. But I also have canned apples. You can can them yourself. But just eat the whole apple for the fiber and things like that. And of course, bananas are good. They're higher in sugar. You have to watch your sugar. But I do eat bananas sometimes. Besides the fruit, and of course there's many, many, many different kinds of fruit. You can have kiwis and just so many good fruits out there. Then when we look at vegetables, I especially like zucchini, summer squash and zucchinis. You can grow these in the garden in the summer. You can buy them in abundance in the summer if you know there are a lot of farm stands where they raise them. My daughter raised some last year, and she had more squash than she knew what to do with. But the way I like zucchini squash and summer squash is in a lot of dishes. But I also like to take a sheet pan, and I'll take one potato, not a big baking potato, just a round potato. Chop it up because I don't want as many potatoes in our diet. I'll cut up a yellow squash. I'll cut up a big red bell pepper or a yellow one, and at least a whole big onion, and sometimes I'll do 2 onions because we like a lot of the onion, and we eat more of that and more of the pepper than we do the potato. Sprinkle salt and pepper, garlic powder, cover it really good with olive oil, and just kind of, and I use avocado oil, and just mix that up really well, and don't be shy with the oil. You don't want it greasy, but you want enough on there to really coat them well. Make them until they're tender in about a 400-degree oven, and they're really, really good. And we talked about onions with baking them with our potatoes, but onions, garlic, they're well known for their properties with not only anti-aging, but just health in general. Especially this time of year, people like to make onion garlic tonics, and I can show you how to do that sometime. But onions added to your diet and garlic are really good anti-aging, especially garlic. It's just so good for you. So add those things in. Another thing that you can add in that's really helpful is melons. Now I don't have a melon here. I have watermelon actually in my freezer, chopped up in chunks from last summer. And farmers raise watermelon around here in Cantaloupe, and we get them fresh in the summer. And I like to take at least a gallon bag or two and chop up watermelon, make watermelon slushies out of it in the winter and the spring. So I get a little step early in the spring on having some watermelon slushy, and I don't have to wait until they come in, which is around maybe July, to get fresh ones. Now you get watermelon usually year round in the store, but it's not going to have the flavor that one out of the field will have. So I like to freeze them and just freeze them in chunks on a sheet tray and then put them in a bag. The other thing that I love watermelon and cantaloupe, but there are a lot of many melons. There's honeydew, and there's many different melons you can buy, and they're all high in antioxidants. You know, your fruits and vegetables and melons have a lot of antioxidants, polyphenols a lot of times, depending on what it is, some more than others. Vitamin C's, all kinds of nutrients, and there's vitamin A is especially high in some fruits and vegetables. Vitamin C is higher than others, but we need a lot of both. You need vitamin C and vitamin A. Bananas even have some B vitamins, potassium. You just need a variety of things that you want, 4, 5, or 6. They even say 9, but if you can get 4, 5, or 6 in a day, then I think that's really good. But we need to eat more of this high fiber foods and less of our processed foods. Another really good thing that you're going to really love, this is cacao. So cocoa it's raw cocoa. Cacao is really high in a lot of antioxidants, and most of us have heard that a square of dark chocolate a day is good for us with antioxidants, and that's one way to do it. But so many people, when you buy squares of chocolate, you tend to eat more than just one. But the cacao makes good cocoa powder, makes good cocoa in the winter. Put a little sweetener in it with whatever kind of milk you like. I like almond milk or soy milk. It's organic, but whatever kind you like. And then make your cacao drink and drink that warm in the winter. I drink that more in the winter than I do the spring, but you can work this into your diet in many different ways. That doesn't mean go eat a handful of brownies, because that won't work. Too much sugar and flour in there. Another good thing to eat for anti-aging is plain old beans. We cook, these are canali beans, white beans is what I call them, but we cook those all the time, and especially, well, I'd say all year. When it gets really hot in the summer, I don't cook them quite as much. But pinto beans, black beans, white beans, green beans, really any kind of beans. But these are high in fiber. Your canali beans or your pinto beans, black beans. So cook them and use them in a lot of different ways. I like to take black beans especially. I'll cook them a big pot, and then I'll drain them and let them get as dry as I can in the strainer. I'll put them on parchment on a sheet pan or a couple of sheet pans and let them freeze, and I'll bag them up. And you got cooked black beans to throw into anything you want to throw them in. Soups and stews and taco enchiladas or whatever you're making that you want black beans in. You got them ready, and they're already cooked and ready to go. And you don't have to buy those canned beans. One, you have to store cans. Canned stuff is processed, obviously, we know that. Even though I do buy some pinto beans sometimes in a can. But it's better to have the fresh cooked and keep them as in your freezer if you can do them that way. Usually I don't freeze white beans and pinto beans because we'll eat those. But I cook pretty much what we eat. When I was growing up, my mother cooked white beans every week almost. There was a few weeks went by that we didn't have white beans and cornbread. Can't eat as much cornbread nowadays, but I do like my white beans. The thing about cornbread too, one day I'm going to make coconut bread, and it tastes so much like cornbread, but it's a lower carb cornbread. It's not carb free or anything, it's not keto, but it is really, really good. I'll do a video on that one day. Another thing to add back on your with your fruit kind of sweeter things is berries, strawberries, blackberries, blueberries, Raspberries. I keep all of those in my freezer all the time. I often will find organic raspberries or blueberries in a store, and they're, you know, they don't keep as long, they don't have as long a shelf life, so they have to move them. And I have bought like tons and tons and tons of raspberry little containers. Organic, fresh might be $4. They'll have them marked down to $1 if you can hit it right. And I'll just buy 20 boxes and put them in my freezer. These are blueberries, and these I have dehydrated. If you watch my videos, you know I like to dehydrate. But dehydrated blueberries, they're just good. I get a lot of blueberries from a guy here that grows them in the summer. And so I will freeze some, but I'll also dehydrate some. You can throw these in your yogurt and things like that. Just keep them out there dry, and then they're good just to eat. They're also good. You can grind them up and make blueberry powder out of them. If you get them really dry, they'll grind up. But these are really good. They taste amazing. Blueberries are what they call, a lot of people call them brain food. Blueberries and walnuts. Walnuts have a lot of omega-3, and that's considered a really good brain food. And blueberries have a lot of polyphenols in them. You should be eating these every day as you age, and you should eat walnuts. Just a handful, just a few blueberries. And like I said, just to keep them around fresh, sometimes they go bad on you. But if you dehydrate them, then you can just pick up, you know, a tiny little handful and put them in whatever you want to put them in and eat them, or just eat them the way they are. These are good in blueberry muffins too, by the way. Done that lots. Another anti-aging food is nuts, and that can be nuts of all kinds because they have so many nutrients in them, and they just, a handful of nuts added to your diet is a good thing every day. These are almonds. I like almonds. I like walnuts. I like pecans, and they're not as high on the list of anti-aging as your walnuts are probably the most anti-aging, but almonds are probably second. But I do like my pecans, so I eat a lot of pecans. But I keep nuts around all the time. We always have nuts in the house, just always. That's not an option. Another really, and most people have heard of green tea being one of the best longevity anti-aging foods out there. It's not only good for your body, your hair, your skin, everything, but green tea, and this is not green tea, by the way. I make green tea almost every day. But this is a lemon balm tea, and I was drinking it last night, and I had some left in my teapot, so I got it out. But I'll drink it with just a little bit of liquid stevia. I do dandelion teas, I do dandelion root teas, I do hibiscus, all kinds of teas. Just make up different ones, different days. Peppermint tea, I've talked about that in my dried herbs video. Peppermint tea, I grow peppermint in big pots in the summer, and it gets real big, and you can dry it, dehydrate it, and then you can keep it around for your peppermint tea all year. Some of the herbs I grow a lot of herbs and make teas out of them. Thyme is really a really good tea. You make lemonade, and I use stevia, fresh squeezed lemons, vitamin C rich, and put just a few, just take some thyme in your teapot or in a pot and heat it. Let it steep just a few minutes to get a little bit of thyme. Don't do too much, it'd be too strong and you won't like it. But then pour just a little bit of that in your lemonade. It's a really good immune building tea to drink, but just drinking it by itself, it's a little bit strong. But put you some stevia with your lemonade. The lemon really makes it flavorful. And if you're not used to drinking herbal teas, you can often make your lemonade with, again, use fresh squeezed lemons. Not bottled lemon juice. It's been pasteurized because it cuts the nutrients and the vitamins way down. It can even kill a lot of them. So you want fresh squeezed, and use your stevia or whatever sweetener you want, and avoid the sugar, because sugar will age you faster than anything. We have sugar, but we have it in limited amounts. But make different kinds of teas. But green tea is especially good for longevity. Research backs that up for years and years and years. So if you want to live longer and feel better, drink some green tea. The last one I want to talk about is pure water. Nothing better than having, you need to stay hydrated. You need to stay hydrated every day. So drink as much water as you can get down in a day. I don't drink a gallon or anything like that, like some people suggest, but I do like to drink several glasses of water a day, so it's really good. And one of the things I'm going to talk about here, but it's not a food that you would just take and buy and just eat, but I work and I take a lot of algae products. Algae products are extremely anti-aging and supposedly help a lot with longevity. They help build your immune system. They're good for so many things. And I do this is spirulina extract with vitamin C, and it's a dietary supplement. It has a lot of really good stuff in it. I take a capful a day. I do a green algae powder, which I also use on my skin, by the way. I'll do a video on that sometime. But drinking this every day, drinking the powder, the green powder. I don't drink the green powders much, but I drink more of this, the blue. The blue tastes really good. The green I use more in smoothies or on my skin. Use it on my skin. It's really, really, really good to get all those dead skin cells off your skin. It'll make you look younger just doing that. So you can check with me, get with me, send a comment, follow me on Facebook. I have an anti-aging Facebook group too, and you're welcome to join that. Just send me a message and I will send you the link for it. And I do check out people before I put them in there. There's so many fake accounts out there and people that just want to cause trouble. So I do check people out before I put them in there, just so you know. I'll look at your Facebook page. But there are many ways that we can help slow down the aging process, or just feel better when we age, or help our skin look better. And again, what you put on the outside has some effect, but it's what you take inward that has the most effect. Our body's built from the inside out. So you have to build it with good food. Put some of these things in your diet. It's easy to eat an orange a day. It's easy to eat an apple every day. We're going to probably snack anyway. It's easy to drink different kinds of teas, and green tea, put that on high priority on your list. It's easy to get beans in. Just cook them. I cook them about once a week, and we eat them left over. And again, we're eating beans in different kinds of dishes too. It's cooked beans that we're eating, but it's different kinds of beans. And just start adding these things in, but you need them daily. You know, my sheet pan, potatoes, peppers, onions, summer squash, you're getting 4 different vegetables just right there. So a serving of those is equal to 4, a variety of things. So that's a fast way. I like sheet pans. You can put carrots and things in there too. But just try some of these ideas. Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear from you. Have a blessed day.